what's up? It's summertime, which means it's also IPL time. We're just a few days away. We're starting off the IPL on 31st of March. Before that, we're here to preview the upcoming IPL season. I've got Adi with me, Vanch, and Rishi. Guys, there's always a lot of excitement, a lot of hype when the IPL's around the corner. Kids stop playing when it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock. They come back home, sit in front of their TV screens, watch games until about 11:30. There's a lot of leeway for kids also these days because parents are like, okay, fine, you know what, stay up, watch the games, and then sleep. I remember when we were kids, we used to do the same thing. Basically, come in by 7:30, make sure you watch the IPL games, have some fun. We still do that. Guys, before we start off previewing the entire season, what's the feeling like? There's always a little bit of a buzz when an IPL season is around the corner. Rishi, how are you feeling?
It's for once. This time feels a lot different than before because we have a lot more grounds. We're coming back to the actual home grounds, so we're actually the feeling is entirely different, and we're going to get to watch the matches live. And but then in general, the whole feeling of IPL, we've become so used to it. The part where like 2 months, it's entertainment, it's quality cricket. The quality of cricket is actually unmatched. So yeah, it's that time of the year again.
Hey, Vanch, how are you feeling, dude? Like, it's IPL time. It's probably going back to the Chinnaswamy time.
So in terms of, I think over the years we've seen IPL being like every year, and then the past 2-3 years because of COVID, there was I think September and then again during the summer, right? So it was a little repetitive, but then after that, now it's been a year since we've probably last seen the IPL. So it's great excitement, and I think in terms of the teams going back to home and away grounds, it just adds more to like the tournament in terms of how you plan your team and how you play 7 of your home games. Then how do you challenge? What are the challenges with away teams and stuff like that?
Does this IPL season feel different from the COVID seasons? Because during the COVID years, like one said, one was during September, and then we had another IPL very quickly. Didn't feel like we had a break. Does it feel different this time around compared to the COVID IPLs?
I mean, yeah, it does. Like over the past 3 years, two of them it was disrupted. So like we had it again September and November time. And last year was the first time when we had it during the summer, but it was again during certain locations, and we really never got to see. All the teams play at their home stadiums and away stadiums, so traveling was restricted. All teams almost had, it was an easy run because they're all in the same place. So this time we'll actually get to see, especially the two new teams where they're going to play at their home stadiums and not in just the same stadiums which every team plays. So it'll be fun to see how they handle it because it's the first time for them also. So they won't really have that home advantage when you see teams like RCB, Mumbai, and CSK. They've already had this huge fan base and they've been playing in front of their home. So I feel like these home games will always help them more because they already have that support and brand, the home support. So especially it's back in the summer and, we have like a proper home support and all the players also the first time they're going to, actually see the fans after 3 years. So I feel like the home games, away games are actually going to change how the teams actually play. So it'll actually be fun.
Yeah, even in terms of team compositions, like first there were auctions based on, you're going to play in Pune, you're going to play in Mumbai. But then now teams going back to their home grounds, they play 7 games in their home grounds. And then you go to, you visit the other cities for different games. So that adds like a new challenge to all the teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now you're chopping and changing as you're on the road because different places have different pitches and different conditions to offer. Quickly, guys, let's talk about the serial winners. We have serial winners in CSK, Mumbai Indians, and KKR to an extent. Rishi, how do you think these teams will fare this IPL?
CSK look really strong. They are frighteningly strong. And so my team, Mumbai, I'm not as confident going into the season as I used to be back in the days. And it hasn't been the same for like 2 years since, the main auction and the whole reshuffle that we've had with our squad. It's still a young squad. It's still a developing squad. So in terms of Mumbai, we'll still take time to find our feet, and so yeah. And KKR again, they announced a new captain of Nitish Rana. We'll see how that turns out. I'm quite looking forward to seeing Nitish Rana captain the squad. But yeah, Chennai are frighteningly good, and there's no 2 ways about it. They are here. They mean business.
For me, I think
Yeah,
I have
but
very
uh,
contrasting opinions to that. In terms of, I think Mumbai Indians have one of the strongest lineups this IPL. CSK
without
would
Bumrah,
probably, with the addition, without Bumrah, but they have Jofra Archer back. I think they'll still be fine. Just in terms of spinning options, they might not be well equipped, but their batting is
yeah,
with Tim David, Tilak Verma, Surya back in form. Once he starts playing the IPL, we know how dangerous he is, and all like against like all the top teams he plays against. So it's yeah, it's just like Bumrah could be a good like a big loss, but I think CSK with just the addition of Ben Stokes, their bowling in terms of fast bowling isn't very well equipped when it comes to foreign fast bowlers. But again, they play 7 of their games in Chepauk,
Chepauk,
so
yeah.
yeah, they have that pace spin, Jadeja, and yeah,
No, I think Chennai will be damn dangerous because playing at the Chepauk, Tikshana will enjoy it. And I think that's a bank of 4 overs with for Tikshana is amazing. 4 overs there, and Jadeja, you've got four. If they want, they can play the option of mid Santner. They play three spinners, and then anything can happen at the Chepauk. Adi, how do you think the serial winners will fare?
I mean, firstly, when it comes to Mumbai, I actually think they're going to struggle this year. Firstly, when you saw the Wankhede Stadium when India played, it didn't look like a really good batting pitch. Like all the Indian players itself struggled to play over there.
Mm,
So it really looked like it's more of a slow track, and batters will generally struggle. And when you see Mumbai squad, the bowling looks pretty weak when you take off Bumrah. And Jofra Archer hasn't really played cricket for like 2 proper years,
yeah,
and that's a lot of time for to come back to an international level because IPL is as good as it gets. Like everyone's on the game. You can't really expect Jofra Archer to carry the bowling lineup like that. But when you see the batting, again, Rohit Sharma has not really been playing that well. He's not
he's
been
played
playing.
recently in the
decent.
last tournament that England have
Yeah, I
played.
mean, yeah, but like again, he hasn't played for 2 years. When you suddenly come into IPL, which is very intense, you can't. When it comes to Bumrah, he would have already been like, okay, if like Archer's not carrying, Bumrah can perform. But now it's only Archer, so it's a little more pressure. When you look at England as a team, that I mean, they're World T20 champions, so there's always like not all the pressure on him. But now with especially him being like one of their costliest players, I mean, they have Cameron Green, but I still don't think him playing T20 is as solid as having Bumrah in the squad when especially in the starting 11. And again, you see Surya Kumar is like it's not been playing well. I mean, we saw against Australia, he's been
Yeah, yeah,
struggling. Same with Ishan Kishan. I mean, Rohit Sharma himself was also he tries to play, but then he gets out. So it's like it's a pretty young squad, as Rishi said. Like we'll have to see how they fare. Especially Wankhede Stadium, it's not looking that good of a batting pitch. So I don't know. And when it comes to CSK, they always look solid, especially when you have, MSD, Jadeja, and now they have Ben Stokes, Moeen Ali. I mean, they just look very solid. All the international players are pretty well known, reputed players, and like I don't think anyone else has a proper solid squad apart from them. And when it comes to KKR, I mean, I just don't know. They just seem pretty unprepared compared to the other teams. I mean, they just lost the captain and then Nitish Rana captaining, where he hasn't really captained much. Plus, the squad doesn't look like that filled, but we'll have to see how they play. Again, like when they come to Eden Gardens, it's a different thing. Especially with home stadiums there this year, you just don't know how everyone's going. That's like that's what can just be the difference because like playing at home, you did never know what happens.
yeah. Fair. Actually, I don't. I actually agree with Adi. I don't think Mumbai Indians have a sorted team at all. I think their bowling, they're lacking a lot in their bowling department, like a lot. What are the spin options? They have to trust
Exactly.
somebody like a Ritik Shetty
Ritik
probably.
Shetty,
I
yeah.
do.
And
Yeah,
I
and
mean, even
what
last year
I doubt they're going to get Sharda.
But they
I mean,
place
they'll use
half of
Yeah, I
the
Brevis
don't.
too, right?
they play half of the games at Wankhede, and I don't see that as a problem. They
True.
have Cameron Green, they have bouncy tracks at Wankhede. Jofra Archer gives you 4 overs.
Yeah,
Cameron Green gives you
I mean,
4 overs.
Green is not
I
giving
mean
you
that's
four.
only
Green
two
is not giving
ballers.
you four. Green is not giving you 4 1.
I mean, if
Who
he
is Green?
gives
Green
also,
is not
it's
giving you
They
still
four
not
overs.
played
solid enough. No?
in
He's
terms
not
of
giving you
if
4 overs.
you
There's
see the
Green,
team
there's
structure, they played 14 around 14 crores for him, right? So you're buying him for a certain role that you feel like he would fit, like a Pollard role, which he played in 2012, 2013, where he would bowl 4 overs. He would come down the order,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Probably they would start with Ishan Kishan and Rohit Sharma, Tilak Verma at three, Surya or Tilak Verma, Bravis, Tim David, and then Cameron Green. So it's something that helps them fit the team's roles,
I
and
mean,
I
they do
think
have Jai
Mumbai would
Richardson
fit.
also. They have Jai
Why he's
Richardson, so
out if I'm
I
not
think
wrong.
they're going.
Jai
Is he?
Richardson.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
We
Is
we
he getting
have
replaced?
Jason
Yeah.
Burrendorf.
Anyways, regardless,
Oh, okay. Hmm.
yeah, he'll
They
probably
might.
get parent off. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Mumbai would
because
fare better than CSK. Let's see.
No. Anyways, okay. Let's get into that. We'll talk top fours. Rishi, your picks for the top four teams. Who have you gone with? We spoke about it. You've based on our conversations, you've gone for CSK, RCB, Mumbai, and the Gujarat Titans. Any reasons for these picks?
The
Because you've got
pitches,
Mumbai in your top
the
four.
yeah, I mean, I think we're good enough to get top four, maybe play the eliminator, but definitely not making it to the finals or giving a strong contention in the final.
how is
So,
Yeah.
top four not good enough?
Yeah.
like Rahul said, we're serial winners.
Struggling in
No,
top
but
four.
dude, top four for Mumbai. Okay, fine. Anyways, yeah. Okay, before let's just discuss Gujarat Titans. So I have Gujarat in my top four as well. Vansh, do you have them in your top four? No, Vansh
No,
doesn't
I
have them.
have.
Vansh doesn't have.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no, I
yeah.
don't
So
have them in my
Adi
top four.
also doesn't have Gujarat. Yeah, in the top four. But yeah, quickly, Rishi, we'll just touch on Gujarat. Why have you put Gujarat in, and I'll tell you why I put them in as well.
They're coming off an IPL win. There's nothing that gives a team a boost like an IPL win. And over the years, the few years, we've played a lot of games. I mean, by we, I mean Gujarat Titans. The Indian team has played a lot of games in Ahmedabad. So a lot of the Indian players, the Indian contingent, not just the players, the whole squad, the net bowlers who go, they're all accustomed to the stadium, the atmosphere over there. And of course,
Yeah.
the ground is going to be small, but nonetheless, they're like a lot of it comes down to familiarity. And I feel a lot of the players are going to be very familiar with the ground. And yeah, like I said, they have a really good squad, a balanced squad, which are coming off an IPL win. So that bounce is going to take them quite far. Is what
They did
So for
lose their
me,
main
like,
fast bowler in Lockie Ferguson, though.
yeah, but I still think they have a
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good
true.
bowling attack. Like I don't see too many issues. They have Mohammad Shami, they've got Rashid Khan. I think they're pretty sorted. They've got Pandya can bowl now. We've seen him bowl regularly for India in the ODIs. So I think he should come and bowl a few as well. I mean, regardless, I think what was missing for them was a number three batter, and they've got that in Kane Williamson now. It was a brilliant buy for
Kane
me.
Williamson.
They Yeah, so we saw that Gujarat struggled in the first half. Once Saha and Gill picked up towards the second half, they really went on a crazy run. But I don't see Saha having the same season as last year, and I think they need a solid number three, and they've got that in Williamson. That allows your Millers and Pandyas to come a little later
But then
on
where do
towards
you
the
play
back end and
KS?
really go.
If you don't play Saha, where do you play? Let's say you
No,
start
you play,
Saha.
but you say you play Saha. I'm saying you play Saha, but he's probably not going to have the like a season that he did, right? But you just have that extra insurance in Williamson at number three. For me, like,
Williamson is not
yeah,
just a
it makes
batter.
sense.
The wealth of experience that Williamson brings is going to be invaluable to the team. Like
Yeah,
I don't think I've
absolutely.
ever
And
seen, like, after MS Dhoni, he probably has to be the coolest captain. His decision making,
yeah,
his bowling
for sure.
picks, they've always been on point. So it's, if anything, is just going to help Hardik Pandya in decision making and the whole leadership.
True.
And for the
They
price
would.
they
Okay,
got
we've
them,
all got
it is
RCB.
definitely a steal.
I mean, fair enough, but
Yeah,
like, bro,
I
again,
was
they're
saying,
playing in Ahmedabad,
They were
and
pretty
Ahmedabad's really
reliant on
not
no,
good.
but
Rahul Tewatia.
he's going to be, yeah. So Rahul Tewatia is going to play. He's going to play the same role. He'll play
He's
at
gonna
six.
play, but he again, you don't know if he's gonna have the same impact because he hasn't played a lot
Absolutely.
of in.
Fair.
Not played.
Definitely.
No, which is why you have that insurance in Williamson. Like he's not going to score whatever 40 of 20, but he's going to give you a solid 30 of 25 balls. So
But the
yeah,
two players who
and
have very different impacts. Kane Williamson's role and Rahul Tewatia's role in the team is very different in
no,
terms of
Tewati was
finishing the
like
game and anchoring him.
No, but
Tewati was playing six, right?
Williams is not playing
Williamson's
for
not
Tevatia, right?
Tevatia. He's not
Exactly.
doing Tevatia's
Yeah,
role for them,
Williamson is
right?
going to play at three.
Williamson's going to come
Yeah,
and play the number
it's
3
a
role, so it's
toss
more
up
of this score runs
number
and
three
goals.
role, and it's a toss up between him and Wade.
Wait.
And okay, anyways, we've all got RCB in our top four. Vansh, why do you have RCB in your top four? And down to
It's
win the
just,
IPL.
uh, I think Virat's gonna have again one of the 2016-2018 years he's always had. Just one coming off his last 4 years. He's not been in like the greatest touch, but he's again pumped ready. He's gotten his Test century, T20 World Cup. He's T20 he got his T20 century against Afghanistan, and all of that combined, he's looking in good form. So I would put Virat to just show that hunger in terms of winning the IPL. Again, Faf with his experience along with Virat's guidance, I think they look a really good team. Just a small problem would be Glenn Maxwell's fitness. In terms of replacement, they had Will Jacks, but he's ruled out too, so that would be a slight problem. But I think the
I mean, they
team
got
in terms
Bracewell,
of,
right?
yeah, they got Bracewell. I don't think he'll
Yeah, but
start.
I think Brace was more a
A
replacement
lot
for
of games.
Hasranga.
Yeah,
No, it's more.
he
I mean,
came in
he
as
came
a
bad,
replacement.
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
but
if Max was injured,
that's why.
Brace was going to
he
come
is
in.
more of the Hasranga role than
Yeah,
Maxwell.
more of the Hasranga.
Yeah, because he's more like a bowling all rounder.
He's
Siraj
a bowler,
again,
bowler.
he's in
Yeah, he's a
form of
bowling
his
bowler.
life, so we have a replacement for Hazelwood. Siraj in the death can be a little expensive, but when we're visiting like teams like Mumbai and Kolkata, where the ball is supposed to swing, we would expect Siraj to come and play. And again, Reece Topley, having signed Reece Topley in the auction, I think he would play in those games where Hazelwood is, not available in terms of injury or any fitness related issues. And yeah, Reece Topley and Siraj would be a really good bowling attack in terms of power play and death bowling.
Yeah, Adi, why do you have RCB in your top four?
I mean, generally, okay. So when RCB over the past years, they've almost had the same squad, the main core. I mean, obviously they lost ABD, so they got him up. But over the past 3 years, they've in when it comes to the league table and in the normal season, they won the most number of matches, especially in the past 3 years when teams like Mumbai and CSK have gone to win the IPL, but like RCB's consistently been there in the top four. And past years they've also been in
Yeah,
the playoffs, so you can see they've already had a solid, those pillars when it comes to batting. It's again Maxwell, Virat, Faf, and then they're bowling, especially having Hazelwood, Siraj, and this year Reece Topley. They have like a proper solid team. But again, when it comes to T20s, especially in the moments that actually matter, it's going to be tough for us because they really don't have any finishers, in my opinion. I mean, over the past 3 years, they've been in the playoffs. They've really struggled to actually finish off games or even chase those games. And they're really not able to score the runs where they needed to, against SRH 2 years ago and last year. I mean, even against your Rajasthan last year, where they couldn't really put on runs. So it just looks like when you have DK, he's just pretty old. I mean, I don't think you can rely on him as a finisher. You could even see that, like, when it came to the
You
moments that mattered, he
you
really
might
couldn't
not
play. And
no, I think he was there.
finish. You,
huh?
you might
I
not
think
see
he had
DK
a good
finish.
season
Yeah, he did have
What?
a good season. You might not see
Yeah,
him
but
finish those many
last
games.
season. Yeah.
But
but
again,
last year he just came as a finisher, right? Like he didn't play as a normal
No,
batsman. He just came to
I
finish off
remember
games.
I think I don't know if it was
one of the
it was
RR
the RR or a KKR
Rajasthan,
game.
yeah,
Yeah,
the RR
he
game,
was brilliant. He finished off that game. Yeah,
we needed like
and
Yeah, I know
90 and
that,
60.
but yeah, but
And
that's what I'm
No,
saying. I'm talking
Adi's
when it comes to
Adi's talking about
when
the
playoffs,
banking,
like
the
when you're playing
reliability.
the element.
right,
Exactly.
right.
So RCB's
We were
never been consistent. And
see,
one
he
of
might
RCB's
not finish.
weaknesses this year will be their opening. So I don't think they have a solid opening. And they struggled last year also with their opening, lineup, especially after the
Yeah,
lost Gale. They've never really had a solid lineup of the first two players, and that really matters because especially last year they couldn't bank on the power plays. They never tried to hit a lot. RCB was one of the lowest scoring averages in the power play itself because like when you could see Faf really never went and attacked. Like generally takes his time, so it was really tough, especially in a T20 when you're playing. Especially in Chinnaswamy Stadium when you would expect to normally have high scoring games. It's going to be tough if they don't attack the power play.
Dinesh
So I
Karthik
just feel
might
no, it
have
like
makes sense. And now,
a lot of games, but they have Lomror and Manoj,
yeah,
one of the Karnataka boys that they picked up in the auction. They really like
I mean,
that adds to Dinesh Karthik's experience, and they have a good finishing option. So
yeah.
when you
No,
see the
fair enough.
top
And
teams like
What I wanted to
CSK,
ask you guys is, what I had is, like I've always been a not a doubter, but I've always felt, Harshal Patel is someone who, yeah, he did fair enough. He did win his flowers by winning the purple cap, but I wanted to know
mm,
you guys, what your opinion is on Harshal Patel and how he'd fare in this IPL. Because again, we're coming back to the Chinnaswamy where the grounds are small, where
mm.
the bowlers go for a like for a toss.
You see,
Yeah, what do you
Harshal
guys
also
think
I
about
already
mean,
gave a
Ashraf
Harshal Patel?
disclaimer. Harshal has already given his disclaimer saying that the bowlers go for a lot of runs. So don't expect him to not
yeah,
go for runs.
and
dude,
I'm just putting it
exactly.
out there.
Especially when he won the purple cap, also he used to get pelted, but he used to just get those wickets when it's needed.
Yeah,
And in
he used to
T20,
go for
generally
runs. And
wickets.
he's,
The thing is
yeah,
with Harshal
and
Patel, the problem is he's not really an all-rounder. He's just a bowler. He doesn't really bat. He's never performed for RCB, with his bat. So I can't really call him as an all-rounder. I just look at him as a bowler. So
no, I
when it
don't
comes to
think you
bowling,
need
he's
Harshal
Harshal
again
to
like,
bat.
has you.
No, I don't think
It's
Harshal has
fine
to
in terms of
bat
batting. Yeah, he
anyways.
doesn't
Yeah,
have
it's
to
fine.
bat
Yeah,
because they have the
exactly.
depth in terms
He
of
doesn't have to bat. Yeah,
but
Hasaranga
do you
bats
think they
at
have the
8,
depth? Like,
Harshal Patel bats at 9.
tell me the
yeah,
batting depth.
absolutely. So you start
Like,
off with
You
Rawat and
start
Faf.
with Virat.
You've got Rawat and Faf at the top because Patidar doesn't start. You've got Kohli at
Patidar
3.
is
You've got
up.
Maxi
If
at 4. You've
Patidar,
got yeah.
Rawat is
Okay,
not going to
let's
start.
just yeah.
no.
He will
So
start because
if
you don't have
Patidar is
Patidar.
injured for the first probably first 2-3 games, then you start with Rawat for 2-3 games.
Rawat, yeah. So
Play
you start
Virat
with
3
Rawat and
for
Faf.
middle order is
Yeah, you
fixed. Then
Maxi
you
4,
go Maxi,
Maxi 4,
Mahipal Lomror
Lomro
or
5 or whoever, and
again
then 6 you have DK. At 7 you
DK.
play either Chapman or Hasaranga, and then yeah, that's 7 batters, and you have
That's the
Shahbaz
thing.
Ahmed as well.
After
So
DK, there's no
you
one
have
who
a
can bat.
lot of options. No, of course there are people who can bat.
So
I don't think you
I
can say. I
mean,
think Lomror has
who?
been like very underused by the
we
RCB team.
played Lomror at 7, DK was at 6,
Yeah,
5 was I think one of Suryash Prabhudesai or
yeah, right.
we kept
Yeah,
on
yeah.
RCB
It was
kept on
Shahbaz or
so
Suryash. So
Shahbaz and then Hatsaranga would come at 8, Harshal at 9. So you have Harshal batting at 9. You
so you
don't
have a lot of batting.
expect him to.
Batting is not an issue. I think. Yeah, I think where RCB
No,
will really struggle is at
The
the top
only
order.
the
problem
thing
is
is,
with the middle
no
order.
one's
The middle
consistent
order
enough.
in
Like,
terms of DK's finishing, you don't expect him to finish the games that he did last year again.
Hmm.
But again, in the auction, they've got Manoj and Mahipal Lomror can add with the little
Yeah,
experience that he's gained over the last year.
yeah.
the problem with the
I
RCB
think a big
is
miss for
generally they
RCB
don't
is
have
Rajat
any.
Patidar.
It's
Thing
just
is, they need
Virat's
Indian
form.
players.
Yeah. So that's what. As long as
I mean,
when Patidar comes in, I think he's going to add a huge chunk to this RCB team.
yeah, we
Again,
saw that
RCB
last year.
playoffs
Yeah,
mainly depend on Virat's form. If Virat can go
yeah,
again 2016, 2018
and he has to.
version,
He has
yeah.
to.
So why do you think we're going to win
This
though?
time he has
What's
to.
what's different this year? Huh?
We have so in terms of bowling, I think we have a good replacement for Hazelwood. Last year we
Yeah,
weren't we were over reliant on Hazelwood. We didn't have a fast bowling option when Hazelwood is injured. When he had an off day, Siraj is in the form of his life, so you can't count him out in any format of cricket. Hasaranga again. You just expect him to perform with the money that they've paid, also with the reputation that he has in the game. Harshal Patel, if there was a bowler that I would think that at Chinnaswamy Stadium who is just not the traditional like bowl it bowl it in one spot, provides variation in terms of slow balls, slow bouncers, and that comes in handy at Chinnaswamy Stadium. So they have a variety in their bowling. In terms of batting, again, Virat has to just push, and that's pretty much it. Like, I think he can
Hasranga
carry.
is
And yeah,
supposed. I think he's set to miss out the initial games, right? A few
Yeah, he will. He
initial games.
might.
I
He's
think we have a
gonna.
good replacement for Hasang as well, so it's fine.
It's just, I think April 8th is their last game. Sri Lanka's international duties, and so that would probably be 2 games. Hasranga
Yeah.
Bracewell
One
is a
game.
very good replacement. One,
Yes.
two max. April 2nd is the Mumbai game. April 5th they play again. Yeah.
And even if Bracewell comes in, I think Maxwell will do a decent job in bowling like 2-3 overs. He'll be very important. It's like bowl quick
I mean,
off
the thing is,
spinners at the Chinnaswamy. So yeah.
Yeah, and
and Bracewell
even
actually
the
can bat compared to Hasranga. That's always a plus in the
Yeah,
Chinnaswamy.
that's another plus.
in,
So yeah.
in Chinnaswamy, you would expect Maxwell to just you'd be more dependent on his
Okay.
batting skills more than his bowling skills.
I mean, that's what I'm excited to see because Maxwell,
Um,
every time he used to come and play in Bangalore, he's always belt us. And this is the first time he's actually going to play in Chinnaswamy Stadium, as his home stadium. So I expect him to, actually play a lot of innings in Chinnaswamy Stadium very
But
actively.
no pressure. He's just coming off an injury. So again, the experience of Faf and
And
Virat is important.
the advantage for RCB is like not many people actually rate or give enough credits to Maxwell's
right to
bowling.
Maxwell. Yeah.
He's like, at least in my opinion, he's like a very underrated bowler. His economy is
Especially in
like
the power play.
really good. Exactly. He bowls flat. He doesn't toss it up. He bowls wicket to wicket. He keeps the runs low. It's going to be really really interesting to see what Maxwell
Yeah,
has
let's
to offer
quickly
in
touch
terms of
upon
bowling.
CSK because we'll quickly touch upon CSK because we have two of us have CSK to win the IPL. Rishi, why CSK and why? I mean, okay, fair enough. All of us have them to finish in the top four. I think Vansh doesn't, or Vansh, do you?
I do have them in the top.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Rishi and Adi have gone for CSK wins. Why CSK win, Rishi?
The kind of setup they have, the kind of bowlers they have, like I think they can maximize the grounds the most in terms of having spinners who can utilize Chepauk the most, and they have really experienced players who are still on top of their game. They have Moeen Ali, they've added Ben Stokes and Devon Conway. They are not short of options. And in terms of spinners, like you said, they have Tikshana, they can bring in Mitchell Santner and Jadeja. So like three, four bowlers who are going to bowl like anywhere between 12 to 16 overs. Like 12 is a given. Anywhere
Yeah.
between 16 and 18 overs of spin. In a
Do you-
place like Chepauk,
I
it's going to
don't
be
think
really
you can
difficult
start-
for players to
Can
get
you
going.
start Santner and Tikshana together?
I think that
lineup?
becomes tricky because then they
That's the
play
impact.
Conway
They still have
and
Moeen Ali
Stokes.
also.
You
Yeah,
have Moeen Ali, you
that's it.
have
I would
Ben Stokes, of course,
Yeah.
Devon Conway. So I don't think you can fit both Santner and Tikshana. I think Tikshana starts
That-
over Santner.
I think San is going to start. He's always
That
been-
is something they can take the advantage of the impact player, right? Like the foreigners they have, they can finish off if they're
Well, that's
bowling.
actually
If
true.
like all of them are, I mean, if
Yeah.
yeah,
fair enough. Adi, why do you have CSK down winning the IPL?
I mean, first of all, they're back at their home stadium, and when CSK play at the Chepauk, it's almost like a guaranteed win for CSK. So I feel like it's going to be comfortable for them, to reach the top four. And again, like MS Dhoni's back as the captain. Like last year they tried with Jadeja, it really didn't work out. Dhoni came back, and now he's going to, captain the side for the full season. So obviously his captaincy is going to help CSK, have that normal CSK back. And again, when you add, one of the best all-rounders in the world with Ben Stokes, and they have solid international players already with your Moeen
So
Ali,
with Ben
your Devon
Stokes,
Conways.
where do you think Ben Stokes bats then?
I mean,
It's actually quite.
CSK,
I think he bats at 4.
I feel.
Because you
I
to
think he's
start
going to come as a
Gaikwad.
finisher.
I think he bats at 4.
He's
I think
gonna
Gaikwad. You open with Gaikwad and Conway. You play you
Raidu
play
has to
Moeen. I
bat at
think.
5.
Raidu's going to
Raidu
come on
bats
for
at
sure.
5. Raidu was batting at 5. It was Dubey at 4 and Raidu at 5. So Raidu bats at 5 anyways. So you play Stokes
yeah,
at 4
when you
and then
look at-
Raidu at 5.
dude, I mean,
I think they have a
remember
solid
I
team.
sent you in today. I mean, Stokes is going through an injury, so they just told that he's going to come as an impact batsman.
Yeah,
He's not really going to
yeah,
ball and bat, especially the first few games. So that's not really a big loss when you see their
yeah,
actual bowling lineup. But again, like even when it comes to
yeah.
finishing, they have like a lot of players. They already have a lot of finishers. They have like Dubey who can finish. They have Dhoni himself, Jadeja, and Stokes. Like I don't think like they're going to struggle chasing games a lot, and especially in the Chepauk where
Did
it's
Jadeja miss
almost
the
like
last IPL?
If they
no, it's the
want
captain, right?
Oh,
Jadeja
sorry,
captain
sorry.
for
Yeah.
a few games. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
remember he got
I don't know why I
sacked.
I
feel like
think
Jadeja missed one IPL where they struggled. I just can't
if
remember
No,
any
they
other.
before that
want
they won the IPL, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe it was
if they
2020.
want to best utilize Stokes, it has to be him opening.
Who? Stokes opening.
Stoke. No,
Opening.
I
Stokes
think
opening.
there's no place. There's no place for Conway in the team. I think Stokes has to play at first.
Yeah, exactly.
But Conway's going to
Conway,
play
guy,
because, like, why not?
yeah, Conway plays, but
Because they
for
don't
New
have much
Zealand,
foreign
Conway
batsmen,
starts.
right? Yeah, Conway Gaikwad,
So Vansh,
and then
it's Conway and Ben Stokes opening for you.
no, for me it's Gaikwad and Stokes,
And Conway bats at
and
four.
And no
Conway
Conway
at,
in the team then.
Conway at 3.
At two. Then where does Moeen bat?
at three.
Again, everyone drops one. So Moin at 4,
Uh-huh.
Raidu
So
at
Moeen bats at
5.
four. That's not a bad comp. That's
I
not
mean,
actually that
I don't
terrible.
think they're
So
going to take Stokes opening because he doesn't open for England too. I don't know where he's just going to come.
yeah,
I
You,
mean, regardless, bro, when you look at the batting lineup, it's very solid. Like you can, I mean, when we talk about it right
yeah,
now, it
have the
looks like very
flexibility
fluid.
to,
Like you can change one game to anything, so that's always a plus. And they can keep
yeah.
changing it when required for the targets or whatever game plan they have. So it just shows that a pretty solid team. And again, when you have Dhoni as a captain, you can never take CSK out. And I don't think any other team is going to be like as solid because again, there's the home and away games this time. And first of all, not a lot of teams, even the new players, have not played at their home stadium. So it's going to be pretty tough. Even for RCB itself, like you have a lot of players who's not played in the Chinnaswamy stadium.
yeah.
Because this team was been basically formed in the 2020 pandemic season. So you don't have anyone who's
So just,
pretty solid who's
yeah.
played apart from Kohli and Siraj. I don't think anyone else has played. I mean, DK used to play for a bit, but again, I mean, when you see your CSK's Dhoni, Jadeja, I mean, all of them have already played at the top.
Once you and I have RCB down to win the IPL, why do you have RCB down to win it?
Again, like I said, uh, for in terms of batting, Faf is 38, so he's experienced, but it comes with the age factor of him, pushing to win an IPL. So he's hungry to win. He's won with CSK, but he's captaining a franchise, and he looks hungry to win a tournament. Virat is in the form. He's in like the mood to win an IPL. So the batting looks pretty
Yeah,
dependent on a couple of players, 2-3 players, but those 2-3 players are what makes RCB a standout team because they are top performing players who you would expect to be consistent over the tournament, and you would expect them to score in each and every game. You would expect Faf, you would expect Virat, you would expect Maxwell to score in every game. And again,
yeah,
the rest of the players, uh, Anuj Rawat can add a little. Rajat Patidar, once he's back, we know how dangerous he can be. We've seen it last year. The all-round option, Chinnaswamy, over the last couple of years has been not entirely a batting friendly wicket, I would say. There have been occasions where the spinners have come into play. Um, we've seen a lot of games where there have been some low scoring games at Chinnaswamy
yeah,
Stadium. And the bowling, just the variety that they have right now. Harshal Patel with his slower bouncers, Yorkers, Reece
yeah,
Topley, just the left arm addition that they've probably not had since Mitchell Stark in 2015. Uh, they've always lacked one foreign fast bowler. I think they've got a really good replacement for Hazelwood in Topley. And again, Hasaranga, the spin option, they have a variety of spinning options in Lombrower, Maxwell, Hasaranga, which if it's turning, you go to Chepok, again, it's turning. You have three spinning options. When it's swinging at Wankhede or Kolkata, you go to you go like you look forward to top three playing a huge part. So it's just a lot of variety in the team. The only problem I would feel is, again, you don't expect Dinesh Karthik to finish games as regularly as he did before, but you would expect the other finishers around him to just help him finish in finishing games, and the finishing role should be more based from number 4, 5, 6 with Maxwell and Dinesh Karthik taking responsibility.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I have RCB down to win it as well because it's Maxwell's first proper home season in RCB in the Chinnaswamy. I think he's going to enjoy the short boundaries at the Chinnaswamy. Even if it's a slowish track, we've seen Maxwell loves playing against spinners. He loves batting against the slower bowlers and he will take them on. So I'm pretty confident in what Maxwell, like the big guns, will bring to RCB, especially Faf, Virat. Virat looks really, really hungry this time around. And I think as a bowler unit, RCB is extremely sorted. There are just far too many options that Faf has. He can go to
Yeah.
anybody based on the situation. So, yeah, overall, it looks like a good team. Let's quickly also touch upon our uncapped picks. Of course, the IPL is a platform for so many players who haven't played at national level to come and showcase their skills and their abilities. Rishi, you've gone for Tilak Verma as your pick for the best uncapped player this season. Why and what do you expect from him this season?
He, to be honest, he was looking really good for an uncapped player, for a young player coming off an under 19 World Cup in the last year itself. Yes, he had a few bad innings, but then you don't have another option other than giving, the youngsters enough patience, enough time for them to develop. But yes, there were more than enough green signs that he is going to his trajectory is only upwards and not anywhere but there. And other than Tilak Verma, I also have Prashant Solanki, and I really think Prashant Solanki is going to come handy for Chennai, considering the number of games they have in Chipok. He has been really, going under the radar, and I think he's also going to come really good.
One Shadi, both of you have Mukesh Kumar as your uncapped player pick. Reasons and what do you expect from him this season?
Um, there you go. So for me, at least, I
Yeah,
think
go for
Delhi
it. Go
just
for it.
needed, yeah, Delhi needed that fast bowler in terms of an uncapped fast bowler. So I think Mukesh Kumar, we've not seen a lot of him overall, but it's just that the price tag is one added pressure on him. But in domestic cricket, he's really performed. He was one of the highest wicket takers, and it's just all the clubs, all the teams were behind him. They found something in him that they would feel like justifies the price tag. And
Yeah.
again, we're just excited to see what he can bring.
I've got Rajat Patidar as my uncapped pick. I was really excited to watch him this season. It's really unfortunate that he's going to miss the first few this season, but he was extremely good towards the back end last time, and he's been really good for Madhya Pradesh, like even at domestic level. I think he's one player whose India call up is also coming. Uh, I really hope he does have a really good IPL season, and yeah, and hopefully RCB end up winning. But let's also quickly talk about there are a few rule changes, guys, this IPL season. What do you think about them before we start discussing them, Rishi? What do you think about these rule changes? Were they required? Are we tampering with T20 cricket, which is already the shortest format? It's already exciting. What are we doing with these rule changes?
I personally don't think there are any, downsides. If anything, they're just enhancing. I mean, T20 is already, it's a showcase form of cricket. It's like it's no more, Test cricket and ODI being like, the flag bearers. It's all about the 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 fireworks, the quick format of the game, the speed of the game. So if anything, these rules are just going to enhance these this format of the game, and I don't think there's anything that's holding the game back. And yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Vansh, would you just want to touch upon the impact player rule? Do you think it'll play an important role this season? How do you see teams using the impact player rule?
The impact player rule is actually it's again a concept that has already been tried and tested in the Big Bash League. So we've seen just probably a snippet of what we could see this year in the IPL in the Big Bash. The Big Bash. So what we've seen in the Big Bash is, personally, I feel like it's just I wouldn't personally want it in the IPL. I think it just adds a dimension that I don't want to see in the IPL in terms of players consistency in the team. I think when you're selecting 11, I want I feel like the players need to be secured in the team for them to perform, to be given a chance to perform. I know in terms of finding results, you would want to experiment with the option that you have of playing another extra batsman in terms of a bowler, and you provide a result. But in the long term, that it's not really helpful for the team. And again, the teams have to deal with another dimension of substituting players and the morale that different players, their morals, and just one dimension that has never been touched upon in cricket.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it is a very foreign concept for players to get subbed off in a cricket game, and you're right when you say it probably affects people's morals, and it could go either way, And we'll just have to see how substituting players works in cricket is for the first time, and we'll have a good look at it. Adi, in terms of the rule at the toss of a coin, which is basically that captains used to submit their team sheets before the toss was completed, and now you have the option of submitting one of two sheets once the toss is completed, one for when you're batting and one for when you're bowling. Do you think this makes any difference at all?
I mean, I actually don't think so, because when it comes to preparation for the match, it happens days before. It's not literally at the toss time. So when it comes to that, I don't really think there's going to be a huge shift, because regardless of what your other team is, you have to obviously end up concentrating about what your team is and your strengths and weaknesses. I don't really think a lot of teams will end up using it also. I mean, until and unless there's like injuries, which is normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when you try to change it after toss, you already disrupt your own level. But I guess you can have certain mind games, because like you can just give a proxy sheet in the beginning. You can put another team, while when you actually put it after toss, you might have your main team. So who knows, there might be mind games and stuff like that. I mean, that's the only thing I think you can use it for. Other than that,
yeah.
I mean, what is it?
I was just saying what I've read is I think you need to go to the toss with two sheets, one for when you're batting and one for when you're bowling. This is what I've read, and you can't change names per se, but you can only submit. You have to submit one sheet, basically. So it's not like a huge change.
So you can do that after the toss.
Yeah, but like, do tosses really change your entire team sheet? I don't think so. I just feel like all teams are going to go with the strongest 11.
Yeah,
exactly, especially with your impact players already there. Even if they want to change, they can do it in the game itself. So I don't really think that's going to be a huge difference.
I don't think a lot of teams would use it early.
Exactly.
I think same and I agree with both what Adi and Vansh are saying. It doesn't. I honestly think you play your best 11. I don't think batting or bowling will really change much in terms of teams' plans and preparations for a game. Finally, we'll just wrap up by talking about the last change, which is the DRS rule. Now you have the DRS option for wides and no balls as well. I think this was controversial in the last IPL. I remember Robin Powell called for a overweight snowball, and then Rishabh Pant said, "Let's walk off," much like what the Kerala Blasters did in the ISL. Rishi, do you see this rule really coming to play this IPL?
I mean, if anything, it's going to satisfy the fans and the captains. Like there were a lot of occasions where Virat used to not complain per se, but you seemed a bit unnerved or annoyed at the fact that the decision didn't go his way. And of course, like right now, it's completely down to them. You have an issue, you can appeal, you can take the decision. So it's like, if anything, it's just going to remove doubts from the fans and the captains.
I think we've seen in the women's IPL, we saw in the finals, I think Delhi versus Mumbai, right? I think they were both the reviews that Delhi used. were for height no balls, and they burned both of them. So that adds another dimension. I think uh,
Hmm.
it's very subjective in terms of uh, where where the ball is dipping, like what the height is when it's reaching the batsman, where the batsman is playing the shot,
Yeah.
um, what at what level. I mean, how much is the batter bending? So again, the umpires are always subject to, like, there can be some errors, there can be some controversies, but I think this the wide uh, teams would really use it more for wide balls. uh,
Hmm.
Pollard versus Dwayne Bravo, I remember one occasion. Pollard versus Stark, again, all of these occasions, just like all of these instances just come like on top of my mind, but I'm sure there would have been so many more. uh, I think this rule that they've added is one that is a like should be for like taken forward in the IPL.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like it's only going to be used like generally in the death overs. I don't think anyone's going to ask for a
Yeah.
review in the
I
beginning,
think for
especially. So
wides,
I feel like
my
it's
only
generally going to be
problem is, yeah, my only
I
problem
feel
is
like the
it's very
batsmen are
subjective. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You can never really get to know who's like if it's a wide or not.
yeah,
But I in the WPL itself, like the
No, but
UP
I think the
overs game.
non-strikers will be able to help out here when it comes to wides. They have a better
I
view.
mean,
They have a better.
yeah, but I
as
feel like
in,
they'll only be used in the death overs. I don't think,
Yeah,
especially in
yeah,
the death
yeah,
overs, you generally ball like a lot of wide Yorkers also, and
yeah.
like it
yeah,
goes
but
either
when
in
I'm
Heron
saying
and straight.
wides,
Hmm.
most of the calls also come in terms of where the batsman is standing and how
Correct.
far
True.
he
True.
is away
Standing,
from the
exactly.
stumps. So
True.
these controversies
Yeah.
again are bound to happen in terms of what the umpire feels, because I don't
Yeah.
think you can't overturn a certain call that's made by the umpire when the batter is standing like
On a stump.
outside his off stump.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
again, yeah,
just to add to what one said, like exactly what he said. More than giving the option for a review system, like obviously we've seen the number of occasions where it's already gone to the third umpire because it's a 50-50 call before. Like the controversy comes based on the decision they take. So according to me, uh, instead of giving reviews to the teams, they should have a hard and fast rules. Like they should have rules based on like where the batsman exactly should stand, where they should cut off the no ball
Hmm.
line, where they should cut off the wide line. So they should make, there shouldn't be a gray area in terms of that. It should exactly be a no ball or not a no ball. There should be, like, they should simplify that more than, giving options to the teams. So that's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think fair enough. I don't think the. I'm sure the no ball wide review system will also create controversy because there is no. This is a no ball. This is a wide,
Definitely.
because batsmen often shuffle across. They come down the track and things like that. So I think we're all in agreement on that at least. But guys, thanks so much. It's been fun previewing a bit of this IPL. Of course, there's so much to talk about when it comes to the IPL. We'll sit in and we'll have chats about particular teams, probable 11s, all of that, foreigner picks and things like that. But for now, it's a good start. I think we're all excited. We're all waiting for the IPL to kick off on the 31st. It's the Gujarat Titans taking on CSK. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Waiting for that. And thanks so much, guys, for joining.